The core of U.S. foreign policy during the Cold War was containment. This strategy developed in response to perceived Soviet aggression after World War II. It aimed to prevent the spread of communism beyond its existing borders. It wasn't about directly attacking communist nations, which risked all-out war, but rather about creating a wall against further communist expansion through political, economic, and military means. This involved supporting anti-communist governments worldwide, forming alliances like NATO, and intervening in regional conflicts to prevent communist takeovers. Containment shaped almost every aspect of U.S. foreign policy for decades. The space race was a direct extension of Cold War tensions into the realm of aerospace technology. Fueled by national pride and the fear of falling behind the Soviet Union in technological advancements, particularly regarding missile technology, the U.S. invested heavily in its space program. The launch of Sputnik by the USSR in 1957 shocked the U.S., leading to the creation of NASA and a massive increase in science and engineering education. The space race wasn't just about exploration. It was a symbol of ideological and technological superiority, with each achievement serving as propaganda for its respective system. Domestically, the Cold War manifested in the form of McCarthyism, a period of intense anti-communist suspicion in the United States during the late 1940s and 1950s. Senator Joseph McCarthy led a campaign to expose alleged communists and communist sympathizers within the U.S. government and other institutions. These accusations, often based on flimsy evidence or outright lies, ruined careers and reputations. The Red Scare created a climate of fear and conformity, chilling free speech and political dissent. It's a stark reminder of how fear can undermine civil liberties, and is now typically seen as a gross overreaction that damaged the nation. The Korean War, fought from 1950 to 1953, became a major flashpoint in the Cold War. Following World War II, Korea was divided at the 38th parallel into Communist North Korea, supported by the Soviet Union, and Democratic South Korea, backed by the United States. In June 1950, Communist North Korea, with backing from the Soviet Union and China, invaded South Korea in an attempt to unify the peninsula under communist rule. This aggression was seen as a direct challenge to the Western powers. The United States, viewing this as a critical test of its containment policy to stop the spread of communism, led an international response under the United Nations banner. UN forces, primarily American troops, intervened to push back the North Korean advance and defend South Korea. The war quickly escalated into a brutal and bloody stalemate. Fighting raged back and forth across the peninsula, with heavy casualties on both sides. The conflict involved millions of troops and resulted in widespread destruction. The war ultimately ended in 1953 with an armistice, leaving Korea divided along the 38th parallel, much as it had begun. No formal peace treaty was signed, and tensions remained high along the demilitarized zone. The Korean War demonstrated the dangers of proxy conflicts in the Cold War era. Both the United States and the Soviet Union were willing to engage in regional wars to advance their ideological goals, risking escalation into broader conflicts. This experience shaped Cold War strategy for decades to come.